with our guest, Professor Harvey Dillon, today. Before I begin my questions, I would like to thank him for accepting our invitation. It's an honor to make an interview with you. My first question is, how did you meet audiology?
Yes, it was an accident, really. I was doing electrical engineering and I decided I wanted to become a university lecturer. And around that time, I got interested in music in my early 20s for the first time. And I discovered that people were just starting to make music with electronics, with synthesizers. And I thought, how interesting would that be to use electronics to make music? So I went along and talked to a professor who was building a synthesizer, one of the first ones, and said, could I help build the synthesizer for my PhD? And he said, no. He said, but we don't know how to program the synthesizer. He said, we know how to build it, but we don't know how to program it to fool the human ear. We don't know how small a pitch jump the human ear can tell, and how small a jump in intensity the human ear can judge. He didn't know there was this large field called psychoacoustics, which existed for 50 years, and neither did I. But I just started reading, and I ended up doing a very, very, very long PhD because I knew nothing. And learned a lot about psychoacoustics. And then I thought, how can I get a job which helps me join together electrical engineering and knowledge about the human hearing? And audiology seemed a good place. So I went to the National Acoustic Laboratories and said, hey, give me a job. And they did. And after about a year there, I thought, this is a fantastic place. This is where I want to stay. So that's what I did. So it was an accident, a happy accident.
My next question is, in your opinion, is only audiology education sufficient to succeed in the field of audiology? If not enough, in which areas should we support ourselves?
Yeah, look, I think it's sufficient, but it doesn't have to be the only thing that one knows. I think with the knowledge of audiology, you can have a very satisfying career. If you would like to get more involved in why people act the way they do with the hearing they've got, then knowledge of psychology, I think, is good. If you're moving in a direction where you're wanting to work, say, in more medical aspects of audiology, like electrophysiological testing or vestibular, then a knowledge of anatomy, physiology is obviously going to be very useful, like a deeper knowledge than what one gets in straight audiology. So I think it's sufficient, but I think it opens up more avenues if you also have skills in one of those other areas.
My third question is, what would you advise to audiology students about their careers? What path should they follow in career planning?
Yes. My main advice is do what interests you. I mean, I can only say it's worked out well for me. Follow your interests. It's a much happier life if you're doing something that interests you than you're doing something that doesn't interest you. So find what interests you most and try and move in that direction and see and be open to opportunities that arise as you follow that path.
Thank you, sir. My next question is, what are your suggestions for making a difference in the field of audiology?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Find something where there is confusion. Find something that's difficult. Find something where people are not quite sure what to do, and start thinking about possibilities. Write down what the possibilities might be about what to do and take notes. Keep notes, try things, keep notes of what worked and what didn't work. Before long, you might even have enough to give a conference presentation or even write a paper just with an accumulation of your ideas. So, yeah, find something that's complicated. It's what I've done. I've moved from hearing aids in the last little while into auditory processing because I think that there is a very confusing and very interesting and very rewarding field. So that's what I'm doing. I'm following my own advice.
My next question is, could you share your 3 golden rules for life in general?
Yeah, I think I've only got 2, and I've already said one of them, which is do what interests you, and the other one is try and help people. Find something, find people in need, find a need, and try and help meet that need. So yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Thank you, sir. My last question is, what are your expectations from young people in the field of audiology?
Well, do your job. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know, because there's lots of things that lots of things that everyone doesn't know, just that some people are a bit scared to admit that. So recognize what it is you know and what it is you don't know. Fresh eyes are good eyes. If you enter into a field as a new person, kind of be humble and think, yes, okay, I've got a lot to learn, but also recognize that you do have some fresh eyes and you may well spot a different and better way to do things. So don't be afraid to make suggestions. Yeah, that's it.
So that was it. Thank you for participating to our People Contributing to Audiology project. We have been enlightened from your experience and advices.